Happy Monday, boys and girls. So this week we are learning about air and clouds. So I am sharing a book with you so we can learn more about air today. All right, so this book is called Air, Discover Air, and it's written by Julia Vogel and illustrated by Jane Yamada. Air all around. Breathe it, blow it, fan it, feel it in your hair. Air is all around us. It is a gas. Moving air is wind. Wind pushes clouds across the sky. Wind rattles leaves. Wind makes clouds move. Wind makes waves too. It makes ocean waves. Wind sweeps down mountains and across deserts. It flows around the earth. All over earth there's wind and air. Hot air, cold air. Heat changes air. It makes the air take up more space. Warm air gets lighter and lighter as it rises higher in the sky. Hot air makes balloons float. So when air gets warmer, it expands, it gets bigger. And people use heat to blow up these hot air balloons. These are called hot air balloons. And so look, they use fire to actually warm the air. And as the air is warmed, it expands and gets bigger and it blows up the balloon and it makes the balloon rise in the sky. Cold air takes up less space. It gets heavier and sink. That means it condenses, it gets smaller. When warm air floats up, cold air rushes in behind it. That rush is the wind. Warm air rises, cold air sinks in. Moving air makes wind. So watch me move the air. I'm blowing air to make wind that's moving the flag. The strongest winds are swirling tornadoes. Roaring hurricanes also bring powerful winds. Tornadoes can blow down houses. Hurricanes can rip apart towns. A tornado looks like a cloud with a cone shape hanging down. So it's very wide at the top and it gets very narrow at the bottom. Just like an ice cream cone, they're wide at the top and narrow at the bottom. This lake looks calm because there is no wind. Sometimes air is still. That means it's not moving at all. Leaves do not rustle. Flags hang limp. They don't move. But the air is always there. Floating on air, moving or still, air has the power to lift. Kites dance in gusty winds. Air lifts kites high into the sky. Air makes dust dance in light. Look at a beam of light. Can you see tiny specks floating in the light? Air carries many small things wherever it goes. Seeds, dust, and smoke float with the air. Ha-choo! These are the things that make us sneeze. Try this, boys and girls. Look for maybe a beam of sunlight shining through a window in your house. Or if you don't see any sun shining, you can get a flashlight and shine it and see if you see any particles of dust or other things floating in the air. Cars give off pollution that smell bad. Air carries smells. Bits of food or pollution float through the air to your nose. You might smell warm cookies or yuck. Here comes that garbage truck. The kitchen brings wonderful smells. The garbage truck, stinky. Air even carries sound. Pop! A burst balloon makes sound waves. The waves ripple through the air to your ears. Sound waves must ripple through something, and that something is air. Do you ever blow bubbles? When they pop, the air carries the sound to your ears. Now, you might not hear a pop so much from soap bubbles because soap bubbles are the soap is very thin and they're not very heavy or really big. So you're not going to hear a loud pop from them. You're more likely to hear a pop from if you're chewing gum and you blow a bubble and it pops, or if you blow up a balloon and you pop it, then you're going to hear a louder pop. Incredible air. Air wraps around Earth like a fluffy blanket. And that's good news. Air surrounds Earth because all living things on Earth need air to live. How long can you hold your breath? People cannot live long without air. Plants, animals, and people breathe air to stay alive. Think of all the ways you use air for breathing, for blowing bubbles, for filling balloons, and for listening, because remember, sound waves travel through air. Often you cannot see it or feel it, but air shapes our lives and it's always there. This is how heat changes air. Air is always a gas. Air is always a gas. But air changes when it heats each day and cools each night. So during the day when the sun's out, the air gets warmer, the air expands, it takes up more space, and it rises up. When the sun goes down, the air gets colder and it becomes heavier and it condenses, it shrinks up, takes up less space, and it sinks. Here's one word in the glossary I want to read the definition, and that's gas. A gas is something that flows like water, but spreads to fill any container. Air is a gas. All right, boys and girls, you're going to click on the worksheet in my classroom, and Mrs. Heller will explain that in another video. Have a great day, boys and girls.